Hey. Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the Black Man Unfiltered Network. And how is everybody doing so far? Who I have? Hey, Curtis, what's going on? Are you the first one? Pop in. Can you hear me? Just put a one in the chat if you can hear me good enough. Well, I guess it's happy Cyber Monday. They're just going to keep on making up new words. This ain't no advice for the 60s, but it's good advice no matter what time. It's timeless advice. And it's for the 60s, from the 50s, the late 50s. But you hear me? Did you answer my question? Hopefully you did. You can. Anyway, should be fun. This one should be fun. All these pop the balloon reaction videos, should be fun. What's going on, Trey? What's happening? Oh man, boy. Oh, that's you, Trey. No wonder you're talking about. This ain't advice. This is just commentary. I didn't get the name right. So commentary from the 60s, which is timeless, especially to most of you since y'all weren't born. This is like, when's the last time you really got any information from a fossil? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, well, this is cool. I think this is going to be good because what it is a catch-up video. And really what I was going to do is try to drop the link real early for some folks to come on and say what they think about what's going on. So it won't just be from me making commentary. I'd rather hear from some of you guys on what y'all see and see if we see the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm going to see some stuff. What's going on, Edward? I think I'm going to see some things. You guys will see some things, but it's not really a debate, right? Because we could all look at the same tapestry and get a different interpretation, which is cool, right? So this one, I'm going to try to bend some things the right way so we can have some fun with it. All right. So listen, I was going to get started first, and I'll be dropping like maybe 5 minutes. This way I would, because I just want to get through a couple of things, and then the debate could begin. Right, so I'm glad for you guys to come in real quick and early. Some of my where's the ladies at? Yeah, I didn't see any of the ladies, but that's cool. They'll probably show up in a minute or two. Let me do this, and then I'll drop the link in around 5 minutes or so, and then we could get the beginning started. So what I wanted to do is episode 19 had the two people, just one pair. They got together, and then the catch-up meeting, which is going to be the main thing of this whole thing. The catch-up is, how did the date go and all that kind of stuff. And there's just a lot of stuff in the dialogue that I think people might have some fun with. But before we get started, I want to let you guys see who we're going to be talking about. So let me go ahead and share that real quick. We might as well just get started. All right.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's your host, Arlette, and we are here today with Jeremy and
friend that's pre-booked. Or even anything that's what we are now. We're not together. So I mean, like, even in like.
I'll take back to my channel. It's your host, Arlette, and we are here today with Jeremy and Briante. Welcome, y'all. How we feeling?
Hey, what's up, man? Thank you for having
us. Good. So we had you both on episode 19 of Pop the Balloon or Find Love, where you guys ended up matching. Okay, so is it going to be a yes for you for him?
Yeah.
Oh. And is it a yes for you for her?
Absolutely.
We got a match. I'll take this. Y'all going off. Yeah.
All right, so let me stop it right there because I want to show you guys something before we get going. I'm going to go to that IG, and so we can see what they look like. So we got a little introduction. We know that they matched. And then I'm going to go to the IG. and then we could go from there. Because I'm gonna come back to the balloon show and see how some of the dialogue that they did, because that's gonna be important for the catch-up show. All right, so let's just go to their IG so we can see what these guys look like. All right. Now this is Jeremy. Okay, you guys, let me. Maybe I can make this a little bit bigger. That's Jeremy there. And he's just a regular dude, right? You know, he's traveled a little bit, 12,000 followers. Travel a little bit. I don't know, nothing real special. You know, tall, in shape. All right, so, okay, so he matched with my girl, and we're going to go check her out. Now, let me see if this is going to keep sharing, or do I have to do something different? No, it's not going to work that way. All right. All right, so let me stop sharing that and see if we can get our girl up there. Yeah, it's not working the way I wanted to. All right. All right. So here we go. So we can check out the honey and see what she looks like. All right. So you see her. Now she sings, and she's a singer. So some of these things I can't play. All right. All right. What happened? Oh man, this thing is fooling around on me. All right. So as you see, she's got some booty clapping stuff going on here. I can't click on that, right? So if you click on that, she has a moving video as one of the clicks. And, you know, she does like a full frontal, right? There's a wet t-shirt contest. So you see the nipples and everything in that. So she's starting it up a little bit, you know. So she's doing her thing. So we get a chance to see the lady, and we could stop sharing that. And so there you go. There you have it. Hey, Milani, hello. How you doing? Thanks for coming. Anyway, so again, so we know the two people in this thing. So I'm gonna just drop the link, because what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go to the balloon show, and I have it all set up for you guys to see it. So here is the link. So anybody wants to come up real early, I got it there. Let me just go get to the balloon show. All right.
Go guy.
Let me do this before we get started. Anybody pop up yet? All right. We'll get you.
Hello, welcome. What's your name?
Like the last one, I have to say this is hygiene.
Hygiene.
Oh,
Okay.
man. This thing keeps skipping.
Aww.
Let's do it again.
Okay, let's go ahead and bring out our next single guy. Hello, welcome. What's your name?
My name is Jeremy.
Jeremy, how old are you?
I'm 34.
And what do you do?
I'm an operations manager for a global logistics company.
Okay, very cool. What are some things you like to do for fun?
I'm a musician. I'm a writer, a songwriter,
Okay,
poet, author, and coach.
very nice. Now, what are some things you look for in a woman?
Honest women.
Okay.
That's number one. Hard to find these days.
Mhm.
A woman that has a relationship with her spiritual father.
Okay.
And my interpretation of that is God. A woman that knows what she wants and that's focused on her goals.
Okay. Now, what are some of your deal breakers?
Deal breakers are lack of accountability,
Mm.
are women that don't communicate with men well. So if you have like dad issues or you got a reckless mouth, it's probably not going to work.
Okay.
And I hate to say this, but like the last one, I hate to have to say this, is hygiene.
Hygiene. Okay.
Yeah.
It's your preference.
Before she gets going, what's going on, Trey? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hey, listen, you notice nobody popped their balloon. So that's the first thing. None of the honeys popped their balloon.
He's tall.
He's tall, right? Hey, he's in shape. He's tall, so nobody popped the balloon.
Tall. He's dressed well. I don't know what that little top knot thing is on the top of his head, though.
Yeah, well, hey, listen, we got a person who said every man should have a man bun sometime in their life. I heard that shit. I said,
yeah,
I don't know if I agree with that. So I said, hey, listen, you know what? I never even thought about having no damn man bun, even when I had hair. But anyway, anyhow, so yeah, nobody popped. And I'm going to skip through a lot of this, but let's go ahead and see what he has to do right now.
All right. So we have no pop balloons. So you're doing well. So what that means, I'm going to actually go ahead and switch it on over to you. Okay. So for the first round, I am going to have you pop 2 balloons based off of what you're seeing so far. Who doesn't really fall into your type, whatever it may be. So let me hand you a pick.
Can I ask a question, or do I got to just pop?
Not this round. Next round.
This is tough.
I know. Okay, and one more. All right. Let's start with the first one you ended up popping.
Well, listen, I stopped it right there because it's immaterial why he popped those ladies' balloons. I'm gonna fast forward to where we get to his next round. But okay, so he popped 2 chicks' balloons. That's nothing. So we got a whole bunch of ladies left. So let's go to. I'm gonna move it to 44. And I mean, I don't have it unless you have any commentary on who he popped. I thought it was okay, man. Out of all of them, without saying anything.
Yeah, I got a problem. He popped the 2 women that are dressed the classiest, versus the one at the very end who's got tattoos up her leg and halfway up her ass. So he's already off to the wrong thing.
Okay, so I'm glad I asked the question. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Okay, let's go to my next clip. I want to get it to the point where we're at somewhere where we can keep going. That's funny. Let's go from here.
Okay, let's start with your name and age.
Briante, 27.
Okay, and then the thing he wanted to know, how many kids do you have?
1.
Okay. I was asking because that's kind of my limit. Like,
oh, okay.
I appreciate
just
the
one.
honesty.
Okay, so it's not a deal breaker.
No, it's not a deal breaker. Yeah, one is my limit. So
got it.
I appreciate that.
Let's head back.
So let's talk about that, right? Is it more common? I think that more men today aren't going to have any issue with a lady having kids because he doesn't have any children. What do you think about that?
I think he's the settling type. So he's going to be okay with that. But I think he's a settling type. And
okay.
Because if he's single and he has no kids, I mean, he's tall. I mean, he get his money right. He's creme de la creme. He's cream of the crop. No kids, tall guy. He get his money right. He has a better pick of the litter. But I don't think he knows that. I don't think he understands that, which is why he would even consider a woman with a child.
Well, it's funny. I was on the gray area last night, and we were talking about one of the things about being with a baby mama. One of the things we don't talk about enough. Now we didn't get into the deep ones. The real part that nobody talks about is that you have to have a relationship with the kid's father. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you don't only have a relationship with her and her kid. In order for things to run well, you have to cultivate a relationship, especially if he's active. That's the part I don't understand how guys could just skip over that.
And you yourself, the guy who's coming in, you have to have a relationship with that child's father.
That's exactly
You have to
what
meet
I'm
him.
saying.
Two of you have to sit down. And two of you have to talk, and you have to come up with a way of how you're going to help raise this child or which direction the child is going to go into. Because now it has become a team effort.
Right. Absolutely. And what I'm saying is, even if you're a nice guy, that's a burden that I don't know why. Listen, it's crazy because most people ain't good at that. I don't think most people are good at it because they don't even think about it when they go in and they see the chick. They say, okay, I could take the kid, and I put him to bed. I'm gonna be banging it out. But they don't realize that involved father is going to be actual maintenance, baggage, conversations. He's going to be around. He has access to your woman. I'm not even talking sexual access. That's another thing. But just access, because they got to communicate, they got to talk. And if things ain't well, he could change your girl's mood. You're getting ready to go out and shit, have fun. She got that phone call, and everything ain't right. The check didn't come or this and that. And all of a sudden now she's sour-pussed out. I just don't understand. You know what? I don't know, man. But you know what? It's funny. The guys in my age did that shit more than anybody else. Back then and there, man, everybody was a stepdad or a stepmother. I mean, you know what I'm saying? My father was a stepfather. I mean, he didn't care because the kids were in the South. But I don't think if they were up here in this area, he would have cared either. I just don't know. I don't know, man. It's just weird. It's just weird. Anyway, so let's keep going. Where did I have this time stamped? I'm going to keep going because I just wanted to say this because when they get to the catch up, that's going to be important. That conversation right there. That concession.
Okay, so we only have one that has a child. Any other questions?
Yeah. Why are you single?
Oh, okay. We'll still ask, and then we'll go.
Okay. All right.
Why is
Look,
that a
they're popping because they can't answer it.
Yeah.
They're popping because they can't answer it.
Exactly.
So I guarantee you that they're going to say something along the lines of I hate when men ask that question. I know but that's translation. That's short for I can't give you an answer to that question.
Exactly. Well, let's go ahead and see what they got to
Let's
say.
start here then. Your name and age, and why are you single?
My name is Misha, and I'm 27. The reason that I'm single is because I have done a really good job of figuring out what I like. And I feel like I'm at the age right now where I can date and I do know what I want. I think my earlier years, I was having fun, figuring out everything. And now it's like kind of all keen in. I'm focused. I know what I want at this point.
So she spent her years having fun, taking a high hard one. And now she's saying, oh, this shit hasn't got me anywhere. Except
I've spent the last 10 years getting ran through and more. And so now I want to settle down. And you look like just the dummy.
You look the delicious morsel I was waiting for and shit. That's just God dang it.
You have one more unpopped. And why are you single?
I think I'm single because I tend to pick the wrong men. I do go for more of bad boys and everything you're not probably supposed to go for, but I like to take a little risk. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go out of my element now. So.
So we did get a few pops when you asked why are you single. Let's start right here. Your name and age and why you ended up popping.
Hi, I'm Zola Stone. I'm 31. And I popped just because, I don't know. I'm single because just being in the entertainment industry is just tough. I'm a recording artist and then I'm an exotic dancer on the side. Not a main thing. Kind of too old. My body hurts at this point. So it's not a everyday. It's more the music side is every day, but you probably won't like that. So
okay. So you popped because you think he wouldn't like it.
Just it just like reminded me like just dating in the industry is so tough. I don't know.
So is she someone that is your type though?
Probably not generally, but I did like your answer. So I appreciate your like authenticity. I've seen more about you than I did at that particular time. So like if we met, like, yeah, I would talk to her. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that was a good answer. I mean, because she knows. It's funny. Instead of capping, she knows if you're a stripper, you're not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy to have a good relationship with anybody who's on that square. It's just impossible. Not really.
Well, hoes tend to be the most honest, so it's not surprising. It's the innocent sweet girls that try to sell you innocence and purity, and they're the biggest one. They're the biggest hoes. So I'm not shocked that she would actually tell the truth, because most times the sex workers are the most honest. They're the most forward.
Yeah, I can see that.
And you're gorgeous, by the way. So
Thank you. No, you too. Handsome.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, you're good, girl. You popped. All right. Name and age and why you ended up popping your balloon.
Hi, I'm Shayna and I'm 30. You are handsome. You're definitely my type. I just did not like the question. I feel like when men ask that sometimes they're trying to find something wrong.
Of course.
And I'm single because I'm single. I haven't met the person. I just didn't like the question.
My rebuttal to that is I was more so asking to see if there was any accountability or self-evaluation that you were like willing to present in this conversation, any vulnerability you was willing to give me in this small space. But I can see how that can become like or seem aggressive.
And I'm a very accountable person.
Yeah.
Every relationship that I've been in, I've always taken the time to kind of step back and see areas that I can improve. But it just didn't work out. I just didn't like the question. But
okay, all right. You're not accountable. You didn't have no introspection whatsoever because you automatically thought there was something wrong. Anybody thinking right wouldn't automatically go to the negative. Even if he was asking a question to find out what you did wrong, you still should be able to answer the question without getting all hyped up. So he dodged a bullet with his chick anyway.
Yeah, he did. And not only that, you're on a dating show. Oftentimes, women are when they date, they try to disqualify men. That's all they try to do. So when the shoe is on the other foot, they don't deal with it well. Well, his whole sole purpose is to disqualify you. He's asking questions to disqualify you. So this idea that he's going to ask you a question that puts you in a position where you have to say some things that aren't really that great about yourself, that's the whole point. The whole point is for you to be honest and say, hey, look, I'm not perfect. Here are my flaws, and I am well aware of them.
Right. I mean, think about it. How could you listen? You're going to start a new relationship, right? How could you expect to start a new relationship when I know and you had a past and don't expect me to ask you what happened before? It just, so she wants a guy who's just going to gloss over all that shit and just say, oh, we're together now, so nothing matters, right? It's absurd. Anyway, so let's keep going. But you were right. But you were absolutely right. Those ladies didn't like that question.
But I do appreciate, and you're very handsome. So yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. And now is she someone that's your type?
Generally. She has a great smile. Seems like she's authentic and genuine. So yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
So she popped a balloon for something stupid, and they might have actually connected.
I'm JoJo, and I'm 30. So I don't think it's a bad question, but I don't necessarily like the question either. It definitely gave me like to see like, is there something wrong with me, which is why I'm single. Because I feel like that's kind of what most men get at, because I have heard that question before. I don't think it was a bad question. It's just, it was that. Otherwise,
if you don't think it's a bad
someone that is your type apart from that question?
I like his height and complexion. You look nice.
Okay. Thank you. And now is she someone that's your type?
Yeah, she's beautiful. Your eyes, complexion, seem very nice, authentic. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, so we do have two beautiful ladies left. Any other questions you want to ask them?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you had an unlimited bank account, somebody wrote you a blank check to do whatever you wanted to do with it, what would you do?
What do you think about that question?
Unnecessary. most women don't have a understanding of money. So why ask them a money question? It seems it's a weird question.
I
I'd much
thought it
rather
was
hear.
weird. I was gonna cut it out, right? And I said, let's just see how that one plays out. But
Yeah,
yeah, you're right.
I mean, if you're gonna ask a question, I would much rather him ask a question about character,
Start
morals,
over here.
values, something like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
I would probably, because I played sports, volleyball, so I would probably do a nonprofit for kids who don't have the ability to get to college and stuff, and kind of create something so they can have the ability to go to college, get the right funding, get the right mentorship.
You think if she had access to unlimited amount of
So
money, our
that's what I
parents
would
would
do
start a
for
nonprofit? That'd be
really
what she
big
would
with
do.
kids. So,
Let's go on over here.
Should be
Okay, you want
flying
to go
all
ahead
over
and
the
answer his
place,
question?
man. Are you kidding me?
I would say first off, I would take care of my family and start a business, of course, and start a business with my family as well, and significant other, of course. Yeah, kind of like keep the generational like foundation going. So,
Okay. All right, ladies, any questions for him?
I can't tell you how much I hate the words.
sorry, do you have
Buzzword,
children?
generational wealth.
No.
I know you. I know. I heard you say that before.
Hate
Okay,
it.
any questions over here?
do you like to have fun? Like,
do.
are you spontaneous? Do you like to
Absolutely.
go outside
That's
and
the only
go to
reason
the
I'm here.
beach at night or something? Like,
I love long walks on the beach.
I said at night.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just, if I just like a fun person. Okay.
All right. Okay, we'll be back for you then. Okay, why did we end up popping?
I ended up popping my balloon just because the connection. I did want to actually get to hear you and know more stuff, but at the end, I just wasn't feeling. the
Oh, she
connection
got
at the end of it,
jealous.
but very
Yeah,
handsome
you
and
think so?
got
Yeah.
yourself going.
She got
Thank you.
jealous.
Okay.
So she's
I
capping,
don't think
huh?
I've ever seen that on this show
Family
before.
person. Like, do you like
Absolutely.
to go to other people, like your significant other's family? And are you actually do you interact or you just sit there and
I'm the uncle with the slides on at the barbecue.
okay. Okay.
That's important that she said that you like family and gatherings like that later on. But when you say she
Yeah.
was jealous, what the big one when you
Oh,
said
because she said she wanted more of a connection. That to me sounds like she was upset that the other girl was getting a little bit more attention. You know what I mean? Like they were down there for a while.
Yep. Well, there you go. She said I can't compete with that little minx down there, man. That's it.
She's gonna say, okay, let me bring
And,
her
and in
down
my
to
opinion, she would
earth.
have been the first one.
Yes, girl.
If it was me, she would have been the
Okay,
first
so I'm
person
really
to
feeling
have
the
a
vibe.
phone.
So
Say that again.
If it were me, that would have been the first one I would have actually asked her, please pop your balloon. Pop it for me, please. Because that dress tells me more than what I need to know. She's dressed like a hooker. She's
You
not
say,
dressed
hey
like
man,
somebody.
did you see the IG with her in the shower?
I did, and I wish you had shown the IG after.
I can't. I think it's not safe for work. You know, I mean,
No. I'm saying just the IG page. I wish you would have shown the IG page after, because we already, we've already seen it. I wish you would have shown it afterwards, so we would have been able to see that the IG page reflects like this is her personality, and she thinks they're coming out the house like you're a mother, and you would be a representative of him, and that's not. You shouldn't be dressed like.
There you go. Well, anyway,
I have my final question if there's no others. Okay, so is it going to be a yes for you for him?
Yeah.
And is it a yes for you for her?
Absolutely.
We got a man.
All right, so listen, man. Listen, I tell you this. I'm not so sure my man ain't thinking just for recreational use only. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. He saw all these other chicks. I might have to have a relationship with this one or that one. That one on the end, we could go hang out a little bit. That's
Yeah,
what
he took easy.
That's exactly what it is. So we're gonna get to
and she's a single mom too.
There's a lot of that shit coming up in the catch-up show. The catch-up show is pretty good, man. So I'm gonna have to try to navigate that shit pretty good because there's a lot of time I gotta stop and start after certain things. But the conversation, from both sides of the story, this I think there's a lot of shit there that's interesting to talk about. So let's get to that, right? So let me just go ahead, get rid of this, and kind of start that off. We saw some of that already, so let's go back to it. All right. All right. So we're gonna.
Okay, so obviously, on the show, we got to know you guys a little bit. You told us, just a few things here or there, but we would like to get to know you guys just a little bit more before we dive into, the juicy topic at hand. So let's start with you, Briante. Tell us more.
More about the relationship or
About yourself.
Just myself.
Yeah.
As you know, I'm a.
But before we get started, anybody who just came in, make sure you hit the like button. You got the BMU's Cash App, send them a Cash App for the channel. But just hit that like button. Make sure if you got comments, go ahead and keep it in the chat, and let's just go.
Mom, I do my music. That's pretty much what I've just been on, is focused on that. And I currently do reside in LA, but I will be residing in Phoenix soon.
Okay.
So yeah, that's kind of like in the work and the process right now. So
got it.
Yeah.
Nice. So are you from LA?
No, I'm from Arizona.
Oh, so you're from Arizona, then you
Yeah.
went to LA, and then you're like, I'm coming back.
Here,
Yes.
family's here.
So, ladies and guys, what do y'all think about her outfit? Okay, with his
It's better than the dress,
okay,
but it's still too low cut. Again, she's a mother, and I don't understand this need. There seems to be an incessant need from women to have to show everything.
Right.
Mystery is attractive. Mystery is sexy. Give me something to work for. There's nothing to work for, which is why he chose her. That's why he chose her, because she was easy. There's nothing to work on. All the other women, they look like work. They were covered up. You know what I mean? This one is not covered up. She looks the easiest. She's the lowest hanging fruit, basically.
All right, listen, it's gonna be funny the way she, what she expects. But go ahead.
I got a kid, so he wants to be cousins.
His family, yeah. So. Oh, good. Yeah. And then how old are you again?
27.
27.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, AZ welcomes you back. All right, Jeremy, what about for yourself?
I'm originally from California as well.
Okay.
From the Bay Area, Oakland area.
Nice.
Been out here for a little over 2 years. I currently work for the most part. Have a couple side projects and things going on, hobbies and things like that. But enjoying Arizona so far.
Good.
It's been cool.
Okay. So we saw on the show, you had asked a question that, kind of stirred the pot a little bit. Got a lot of pops on you. You asked the ladies, why are you single? So why do you think so many people popped on you when you asked that question?
I think it's just one of those questions that people kind of assume like malicious intent.
Okay.
As opposed to kind of just doing introspective work and kind of seeing where they may have gone wrong in their previous relationships.
Mm-hmm.
It also may not, be about anything you necessarily did wrong. It could be like situations and circumstances that kind of led to that. And so I thought the question left room for that sort of type of answer, but it seemed like it was kind of received negatively. So.
Yeah. I mean, you answered it just fine. You didn't see any problem with it, I'm guessing?
No, I mean, that's kind of like a valid question, just because it's any question. Like, I don't see why you'd feel some type of way about it.
Especially since we're on a dating show.
Yeah.
We're assuming everyone's single. So it's like, okay.
Talking about a relationship.
Exactly. So. Yeah. Okay, good. And I think you kind of did explain a little bit your reason behind asking that question on the show as well, right?
Yeah, I think after I think one person's response, I kind of just responded and said I was just kind of looking for any sort of growth or anything that you may have learned from previous experience. So I think I clarified it a little bit, but damage was already done at that point. So.
Okay, no problem. Well, let's go ahead and dive right into my favorite question. Since you guys ended up matching on the show, have you guys gone on a date?
Do you want to tell him, Jeremy, or
Go for it. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm gonna say, so after we left the show, I offered him if he wanted to come and join me. At the time, I was already having a barbecue
Okay.
with my family.
And this was back in LA?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
here.
Oh, in Arizona.
Yeah,
Okay.
my family's here. So I rented a big Airbnb.
Uh-huh.
I threw my niece a birthday party, and that's kind of what I was rushing to get back to a little bit.
Got it. Okay.
And I offered for him to come, but I did give the option, like, if you don't want to come, you don't have to.
Yeah.
But that's where I'm going right now. So if you want to come, it's barbecue, we're there, we're partying, we're drinking, we're having fun.
Right.
Let me ask you, do you have any issue with him going to meet the family right away before he got
Absolutely.
to know you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's a horrible invitation. And I would decline.
And, okay, so what would be the dynamics of you declining that?
I literally just met you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I literally just met you.
So from that standpoint, you don't know what you're walking into?
A more proper venue is somewhere quiet where we can talk, where we can get to know each other, maybe something a little bit more romantic. But meeting your family in a sort of a family, it's way too soon. And I'm all for meeting family. But
Right.
That's way too soon. Way too soon.
All right. So is it from the standpoint, okay, too soon, but it's like her throwing him into a pool full of sharks. He don't know who's going to be there, what kind of reception, or it's just, there's no way for me. If you're entertaining a whole family, we're not going to be able to really interact that well.
But he's there as a what? Right? When you bring somebody to meet your family, they're typically there as a what? As a boyfriend, as a fiance, as a husband.
He's a rando. He's there as a rando.
Yes, he's a rando. Exactly. So how many of these randos, how many of these friends has she brought around her family? And honestly, this can be considered a form of love bombing too, if you want to go that route.
Okay. All right. So it gets more intense. Okay. It gets more intense. So let's keep going.
I'm very family oriented. So I'm very friends. Like, if you're around me, you're going to be around the people that I love.
Yeah.
And if you have an issue with that, it's kind of like,
no.
Like, obviously you don't need to be with me.
Yeah.
So we went back there, and I guess it just, he did leave at 2 a.m. So it was like,
okay.
Not like that.
I mean, like, he stayed for some time.
He stayed for some time.
Okay.
He acted like he did enjoy himself. And then, he went home after. Everything was kind of fine after that. It was cool.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like no big thing. Nothing went wrong.
Okay.
It was just like, okay, we got to know each other a little bit more, not that much, but a little bit more. And then the next day, we were supposed to hang out, but I had to fly back to LA.
Okay.
So we were planning on going on a real date, fly out to LA and see me, or I can fly back to Arizona and see you.
Yeah.
But, it just didn't get to that point.
Okay. All right. So Jeremy, the barbecue you guys went to was right after filming? Like, you left filming, went straight there? Okay. So how was that for you?
I enjoyed it.
Oh, Micah.
I enjoyed it. I'm also family oriented. I think we talked about that on the show. And got a chance to meet her family. I had a really good time. We played dominoes.
Okay.
So yeah, like she said, I kind of stayed a little later and then I went home. We were supposed to meet the next day. I think I was expecting her to I think we had a plan that she would let me know when she was free, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And then that didn't happen. So we ended up kind of she kind of just went back home, and so we had talked about possibly having a date. Obviously with me having to go to LA or she coming back here.
Okay, so the next day when you guys were supposed to go on this so-called date, was that something you guys had discussed while you guys were at the barbecue, and then the next day there was no follow-up on it, or what happened?
Kind of discussed that the morning time, I think.
Okay.
It was more because he actually stays around where my sister stays. So we're in the same area.
Okay.
Almost same facility. And
Right.
so, but I was so much with my sister and stuff. They don't get to see me that much. And so from breakfast, we have all the kids. It's just so much stuff right now that I can't bring him into
Okay.
right now.
Okay. to what we had going on.
Mhm.
You're on mute.
Yeah. So what was the purpose of inviting them to the barbecue if it's all this consternation?
And why are you on a dating show? Why are you on a dating show?
It's crazy. Well, like I said, we still haven't got to the creme of the creme. Okay, it's still coming. Okay, it's still coming. Oh my goodness, this is funny.
And yeah, that's why I was like, it took a little bit too much time. And then, flying in, you got to rent a car, you got to go clean it, you got to take it back. Like
Do a
it
lot,
was,
yeah.
it was that. And then it's the heat. So you're hot and it was just too much. So I was okay with, I have no problem flying in 2 days later or flying in a week later to come
Mhm.
see you, or you come see me. Like that, the way you shouldn't have that problem not coming to fly to see me.
Okay, so what went
Yeah.
wrong?
Oh my
Was there just like,
Oh, would you like to tell them what went wrong, Jeremy? Huh?
I think
actually, no, let's hear from Jeremy.
Yeah,
she went
let's
first with the
let him
story.
say
Let's
what
hear from
went
you
wrong.
I think there were kind of a few things that happened from my perspective
Okay.
that just kind of maybe gave me the wrong impression or kind of set up the wrong kind of idea. And so ultimately, we came to, there was a situation in which I was going out of town.
Okay.
I was going on a vacation, previously planned vacation, actually before
Prior to
we
you
met,
coming on the
prior to
show.
me coming on the show.
Okay.
And she inquired who I was going with. And I told her, and it was a friend and actually an ex, but we're still friends, friend of mine. She's
You said it's an ex?
ex and a friend. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Okay. All right. So go ahead, Trey. You know what?
Lie. You lie. Yes, I am telling him to lie. Yes, you lie. I am going on a business trip. You don't tell no woman. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
This is why I say dating is stupid because nobody knows how to date. Nobody knows how to do this.
Okay.
Like
So
you
let
don't
me
date
ask you a
woman
question.
that you're attracted to, that you want, that you going on a vacation with your ex. Come on.
So wait a minute now. Wait a second. Ain't it these honeys who say they want a guy to be truthful? He don't get no
They
pennies for
don't.
telling her the truth.
Our pain. We have got to get past. This is what I'm saying. We got to get past the fact that women want us to tell the truth. They don't want the truth.
They don't want the truth.
This has been dissected. This has been we've done this a million times. We know they don't want the truth. So stop giving it to them because they don't want it. You tell this woman straight up, listen, I got a business meeting. I got a business meeting that's in such and such, and you leave it at that.
Yes.
You leave it at
He
that.
could have said anything. He could have said
First of all,
anything.
she's not your girl.
Right.
She hasn't earned a position there. Therefore,
Right.
you don't have to. A little white lie ain't gonna hurt nobody. She'll
That
be
she
okay.
could never find
She
out
would have
differently.
never known.
So that's all I said. Why did he lie? But I'm trying to get to the point, like you said. This is another case in point where the truth doesn't get you anywhere. Because if you listen to her for the rest of this podcast, you would think that they were married. You would think that he owes her some kind of allegiance, but I don't know how you form your lips and say, you know what, I'm gonna go bang out my ex, and when I get back, I'll get with you. I mean, that's essentially what he said.
She feels that way. She feels that way, our pain, because she took him to see her family.
Oh man. Anyway, okay, so let's continue.
Oh, obviously. So we were okay. Let me tell you, we were on the phone. We're talking, getting to know each other. He said he's gonna go to Puerto Rico for his birthday, and I was like, "Oh, fun! Like, who are you going with?"
Right.
Like, he said he skipped the question first. He skipped the question, and then I was like,
I did, absolutely. did.
"Oh, okay." But then I asked again, like, "Wait, who are you going with?" And he said, "My ex," and I was like, I think my phone's dying. So after that, I never talked to him again. I hung up. We never talked until
the only way we talked again, because I think he called me a few times after that. I did not answer. There was no reason. There was no reason for us to talk. There's no reason.
So you didn't tell him why you're no longer
There's no
talking to him?
reason to
I did not
talk.
call her.
Okay, I have receipts, but it's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
And it was, you're going, what do you wanted me to do? Tell you, like, how was the vacation with your ex? Like, did you guys chill on the beach or
Well-
something? Like, did you want me to wait for when you got back? And then it's like, there was no talking afterwards.
All right. So, Trey, I agree with you. He should have lied. But isn't she a little bit presumptuous that he should, he can't? Oh, listen, I just met you, so I can't bang out nobody just because we said hello to each other. I mean, wait a minute.
Yes, because she owns you now. You met her family. I bought you around my family. I own you. But like there is a time to be honest with a woman. It is
I know.
not until she gets to a certain position.
I gotta say, I would have lied my ass off. I know I would have.
I would have lied too. What are
I
you going
would've
to
done
Puerto
it.
Rico for? A business seminar. I would have said anything. I would have said anything other than I'm going to go chill with my ex. I would have said I'm going with the homeboy. You could have said I'm going with the homeboys. I'm going with my brother. I'm going with anybody but your ex, bro. You
My
crazy.
ex. You know what, man? Listen, I mean, it's so funny. But this just a little bit more. Let's go ahead. Let's keep going.
Okay.
Well, there was nothing for us to talk about. And we didn't recently talk again until I found out that, people were sending me things, and they were sending me things like, oh, he went on a different podcast. He talked about you. He talked a lot of mess about you. He said things, talked about your family, talked about this and how it wasn't. And I was like, wait, what? He's kind of capped because that didn't happen. So a lot of things like he said that didn't happen. And I was like, all right, that's fine. Like, he went and talked about me. Cool. Like, I really don't care at the moment, because obviously from the jump, it showed me that who he was, what he was doing. He wasn't looking for anything. It was just a good time. So it was just, that's fine with me. And I was okay. You're going with your ex. We didn't start anything new. It's just keep it pushing,
Okay.
It's such bullshit. Then why did you
So I
answer the
didn't
phone?
badmouth
Why did
her,
you cut him off then? If
or
it was
say
nothing.
anything bad about her or her family.
Of course.
Okay.
There was a situation, that we were in that I did speak on another platform. But it wasn't, I didn't say it in a negative way. What I will say, though, is some of the things that were said and some of what I observed and seen kind of led me to kind of believe that it wasn't as serious as, like.
Okay, such as what?
I mean, there was some transparency, some things she told me in confidence that I would rather not share.
No problem.
But I will say that there were some things that she told me that she was processing through that kind of just, put it in a different perspective for me as far as the seriousness of like what was happening.
Okay, so you think she wasn't as serious about getting to know you?
Well,
or?
I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but I just didn't think we were in a space to where I would cancel a trip with an ex or a friend because I met you. I just didn't think we were in a space where that would even be a reasonable ask, that I was obligated to do that, that it mattered who I was going on the trip with at all, when we had only, hung out with each other one time. So from my perspective, based off of as well of what I kind of observed and understood she already currently had going on. So I would have thought that would have been kind of just to, like kind of a drop in the bucket, if you will.
Okay.
Without saying too much, but to me, it was like, I didn't think it was that serious. And so, I mean, which is also why I had no problem with being just kind of forthcoming about it and honest. And so if she didn't like it, which is cool.
Okay.
But she did kind of like make some sort of whatever kind of funny comment when I actually did go on vacation. She told me happy birthday and was like some sort of comment, I hope you enjoying or something with your ex.
Oh, yeah, of course. I think we were still following each other, and I said, happy birthday. You're in Puerto Rico. I hope you have fun with your ex.
And so I responded and so even at that point, I thought that there was maybe some sort of, attempt to continue conversation.
Okay.
But so when I responded, I forgot what she said, but she said something to the effect, which is basically like kind of like ask if it was kind of, I felt questioned, and so I never responded to that. And that was our last communication before the podcast, and I do have receipts.
Okay, so after you guys had the conversation, she was like, "Oh, you're going with your ex." You just left it at that. You weren't interested enough, basically, is what you're saying, to continue.
There was nothing else to like. I mean, like if she liked it, she liked it. She did fine, but I didn't think I owed her that explanation, and I thought it was something that was.
Can't hear you.
Oh shit! You know what? I turned the damn mute on when I started talking. I said clearly something went on in the party that he's not willing to say. I think he's trying to leave it up to her, but he's got the impression that he was just going to be a jump off for her too. And so he's kind of perplexed that she would care so much that he was with his girl, even though I still would have lied. So, because she has some things going on, she had a whole life around family. She got a kid with her. And so the big surprise is coming in a minute. So
it was just like, I didn't think it was that big of a deal.
Owed me. That's crazy. So I'm gonna just get this. Okay, first of all, how would we even have enough time? We just met. We're starting something new, right? So we came on here to find that other person love. Obviously, we've had stuff in our past. Like you're saying that, for what he doesn't want to say, saying that I'm still in love with my ex. No, I told him I always have love for my ex. So I was like, my ex-fiance, whatever. I always have love, but I'm not in love. If I was in love with that person, I would go be there fighting for that person and be with that person. But no, I told him, like, I'm single. I'm here. Like, I didn't give you no, like, I'm with this, I'm with that. I told you what I do. I do my music. I take care of my kid by myself. I take care of my own responsibilities. I'm independent. And then all I need is somebody there with me to make me happy and have fun. I never once given him that, sign that I'm still talking to him. I'm this. Like, never once, because we didn't even get that far. Now, for him to be like, he doesn't owe me anything, it's kind of messed up, because it's like, I'm not expecting you to owe me anything. Like, you should be a gentleman. Like, you came to me and you're looking for this. I'm looking for the same thing. So why do I?
Okay, so and she's like, wait a minute. He tells you the truth, but he's not a gentleman. And the fact is, when you tell a man, right, I don't know how other men would take it, but how does she expect a man to take it? I still got love for my ex. And he was at the barbecue. And here's the thing that we're going to get to it, but it's already there. Women are absolutely blind 2 inches from their nose, right? The dynamics that went on between him and a baby's father at that barbecue in that proximity, she has no idea. None. The kind of vibe he probably was picking up from the dude when he sees a new dude there. You know what I'm saying? So this guy, even though she's not with him, he's at all the family functions. I said, I don't know. Am I wrong? I mean, what I'm saying? I don't know this guy. He don't know me. All he knows is I'm the new dude that she's bringing around. My son, everything else.
But you know what though, Payne? You got to take some accountability, because you should have never been there. When she invited you to go to this cookout, your answer should have been, I would love to, but it's too soon.
Okay.
It's too soon, and I can't do that. You would have never been in this mess. I would like to take you out on a proper date. I would like to take you out on something where it's just the two of us and we can focus on getting to know each other. What happens when you don't leave? And obviously, from the very beginning, he was never in the position to leave. He should have never went there, and then you even had to worry about this. Now, Here's the thing: you're not her dude, so she can go talk to whoever she wants to. If the ex is at the cookout, so be it. There's not really much you can do about that, right? No different than she can't do anything about you going to Puerto Rico with your ex, because there isn't any actual connection yet. There are no tying lines or obligations. But
Right.
the issue here is that he was never, ever, ever in the driver's seat.
That's
He was
right.
never in the driver's seat. He saw nice legs, he saw tall heels, pretty feet, and a nice dress with a pretty face, and he was done.
He was gone.
Cooked right then and
Right.
there.
Oh man, but the point is, she did have expectations of him, though. Right? That's her whole shtick. That he should have just known. Well, like, of course, he should have known better than telling her the truth. And like you said, he should have known better for going there. And that he did give away any autonomy by going to that thing in her territory. I don't know whether she told him that her ex was going to be there or not. Could have been a surprise. It could have, maybe not. She might not have felt obligated to mention it based on the way she's talking, which I think is kind of low for her, because she should have gave him some expectation of what he might see there.
But I want you to see the dynamics in this, and this is why I say dating is stupid. I want you to see the dynamics in this. She had a very serious issue with the fact that he was going to Puerto Rico with her ex, but her ex was at the cookout.
That's right.
You see the hypocrisy here? Like, this is why dating is stupid. It makes no sense. So your ex is walking around the cookout, shaking hands and kissing babies and drinking a ball of Kool-Aid and eating the short ribs, but he can't take a trip with his ex to Puerto Rico. It's okay for you, but it's not okay for him, because I'm telling you, she was always in the driver's seat from the very beginning.
Unbelievable. All right, so let's continue some more of this stuff.
Well, I have to accept that you're about to go have a time in Puerto Rico with somebody else, and I'm here still looking for love, but gotta be okay that you're there having a great time with somebody that's your past. I'm not doing that. I'm trying to be focused on you, but that's what you're offering me to accept.
And so this trip was how soon after the show?
Like literally right after. Right after.
So, the show was beginning of August, I believe. My birthday is at the end of August.
Okay.
So,
right after.
But again, vacations are previously planned, not planned the day of, right? So
you weren't done. You weren't done with your past, and that's okay. Don't be done with your past.
I mean, I think that's a very kind of dogmatic way of looking at it, and that's okay if that's your worldview, but it's not mine. So you don't have to fall out to walk out. And because somebody's your ex doesn't mean that they still aren't your friend. And so what that means to you can be different. And I think that's unique between people and their relationship.
So did you guys stay in the same room?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, Jeremy, if the roles were switched, like, for example, let's say her and her ex went on a vacation after you guys met, you would have been totally okay with that, still getting to know her after that trip?
Well, I think if it was a previous planned vacation, I wouldn't have told her to cancel it yet. Like, I don't know that I would have had a problem with that. Like, since we're here, like, I met like her child's father, like at the barbecue the day of, like, so
that I haven't been together with for 7 years.
Okay.
So 7 years.
Whatever type of way though, when we was at the barbecue, he ended up feeling some type of way though,
that wasn't because of you. That was because my child at the time, not to get too deep into it, but my child at the time didn't.
She don't know what the hell she's talking about, right? There's a dynamics between men that she's probably completely oblivious to, unless she's instigating it, all right, on purpose. So this whole explanation about the kid, in my opinion, from her perspective, she might be thinking the vibe he's feeling is a misunderstanding because the kid was acting up, but that's not what he's talking about. That's my take on it.
Payne, can we call a spade here?
Go ahead.
She was going on that show. She was going to leave with somebody. The dress was there on purpose. She wore the dress on purpose. She
understand how birthdays.
She used this man. She used this man. She used him.
Okay.
This was to make her ex upset, and she used him.
Okay. Right. So you think? So the plan, you really think the whole plan was, I'm going to get off for this thing with a dude. I'm going to purposely invite him to the barbecue and see if he's stupid enough to come so my ex could see me with this dude.
Yep.
That's
I know. I know because a lot of y'all still think that women are innocent and pure and they could never come up with a diabolical such as this. This is crazy to believe. I guarantee you this was the plan from the very beginning. I'm gonna go on the Pop the Balloon show because the Pop the Balloon show is very popular. And I'm gonna grab somebody to come from that show and I'm gonna take them with me to the barbecue because I already, mind you, X knew he was coming.
Right.
He knew he was coming.
Right.
So she knew the X was gonna be at the barbecue. Why would she invite the guy that she just met on Pop the Balloon to come to a barbecue that she knew her ex was going to be at? This was planned from the very beginning.
Right. So let me ask you this. So he gave her the perfect out from her plan by telling her about the Puerto Rico trip. She could offload her diabolical plan by saying, let's me deflect the fact that you was banging out your chick in Puerto Rico instead of thinking you might get some from me and going ahead, blue balls. So
and you got to remember the Puerto Rico trip came after the cookout. So he had already served his purpose at the cookout. So she really didn't need him. Remember, she said after he told her that she's going to ask, because he had already served his purpose. I don't really need you anymore. I got what I needed out of you. I'm telling you. That's my belief. This was planned from the very beginning.
Oh man. I listen. I don't have no trouble believing it. I'm serious. I believe it. I don't put nothing past any honeys, man. Forget it. That is something, man. But so there's a little bit more to this. Hold on, let's go.
Work, and he was a little upset that somebody else is getting a lot of attention. So, I parented, and my son's dad, we're not together, but he's not really in his life like that. So it was a parenting thing. The why he got upset is because, I took full mom mode. He was trying and I excluded that out. So it was a parenting thing of why he left. It had nothing to do with him. And I just feel why you feel like you're that to take that. Like, I don't understand why you think it was for you.
So that's not what I was alluding to.
No.
If you're placed in those situations, like out of the gate for whatever reason, that just means that there's unresolved tension, if from my estimation or my observation, between you and your baby's father.
No, I have always not liked him. It's just always been like that. I don't like him. He knows I don't like him.
Listen, what? I can't stand a woman with a baby from a guy says, I always didn't like him. Leave always and never out of your mouth. You gave this guy a baby. You can't give a man a bigger gift than a baby. I'm still waiting for a woman to tell me what you can give a man that's more important than giving him a kid, a baby. And so now you got this guy still hovering around you with your family, and you're saying that you have no, on one hand, you have love for him forever, but you don't like him. It's crazy. At least that's my it's just crazy.
Everybody knows I don't like him, but we tolerate each other because he's been in my life for so long that my family invites him everywhere, but they don't look at him as in, oh, that's Breeze. Like,
that's your man.
They would be like, we will even say, like, bring a girl, bring somebody. Like, we would love to meet somebody that you have. Like, we even tell him.
Did y'all like go out or something like that where you tried to like introduce him to a girl or something like?
Yeah, we try to introduce him. We go out to like groups, and before I would have somebody with me, I'll get my friends to try to get him to somebody. Like, sometimes he's into it, sometimes he's not, but that's him. I don't know his life. We're not into that. Like, he's around sometimes. So
but you
the
would
fact
say
that he's not a factor.
But you would say that it's quite possible, even though you guys are exes and have a child together, to be friends, and that to be that. Is that possible?
I mean, it's after I don't think of him like that. It's after 7 years.
Okay, so my whole point
he's
is
not a friend to you.
So my whole point
No.
is my whole point is it's possible to be a friend to someone after you've been in a relationship with.
How long was your ex though? How long?
How long? What? We've been broken up for over a year. Like,
That's not a
fresh.
comparison.
yeah,
I was with him when I was like
I don't know. I just
17.
want to answer the question. Like,
Like,
I'm
I
confused
have
on why that's
history.
relevant though.
I think
Well,
she's
though.
saying like maybe like feelings might still be involved.
Never.
Like on your end, and that's
A
why she was like,
year.
"I'm gonna back up."
I mean,
That's
I
a
mean that could be
year.
true if I was dating somebody else prior to coming on the show. Like that's an imminent truth, regardless of whether it's an ex or somebody new. So I think like that's not a real danger. Like her exploring what could have been with me, like that us going or on vacation had no hindrance on that, is what I'm saying.
So
Okay.
you don't think it'd be back in my head of what they're doing on vacation? So it's like for me, like, ooh, I just met somebody. Maybe I could start with, maybe I can go fly and see him. Like maybe there's something new because he's looking for this, looking for that. But then once you tell me like, oh, you're going with your ex, like that's like a slap in the face. And so it's just like, okay, obviously he's not serious, but then you have the means to tell me that I'm not, you didn't get to know me enough. You didn't get to know anything that I was about. You didn't even try. You didn't try at all. Like you barely called me.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think it's based off of what I observed in totality, that did not lead me to put my best foot forward or my best attempt to get to know you. So for that, you're right. But I think based off of what you said or what I took away from our conversation at the barbecue, it was in my best interest to not like kind of jump into this more seriously.
I don't see how you're all over me at the barbecue. And then you're doing way too much. And so I did send you home on an Uber. So
physicality and like,
but you said it was nice. It was a black truck from what you said from the other podcast.
I did. It was nice. Me, right? It was nice. And that's not what I'm talking about.
Well,
so physicality, me showing you physical interest is not the same as me like pursuing you. So those are two complete.
He just told her, and it went over her head, that I moved you into recreational use only mode. That's exactly what he just told her.
She was always in recreational.
No, but he, but he expressed it out loud. I don't know if she got that, but you know what? After what I saw, what I went through, you're in I moved you to recreational use only, and that's it. That's that's something else, man. That's cool.
They're both bad.
Yeah, they're both bad.
They're both bad. They're both bad. And you don't do either or. Listen, this is why dating is done. There's no reason these two should even have been on this. She ain't ready for it. She don't want it. He's still taking her back. And let me tell you something. I don't know whether or not you guys who have baby mamas, you can always still hit it. Trust me. You can always do it. Just take the right circumstance at the right time. And I'm telling you what I know. You can always still hit it. It's just a matter of time. 7 years, 10 years, my son 10, and I'm listening to what I'm telling you. You can still hit it. So he's absolutely right to believe what he believes. But vice versa, she's absolutely right to believe what she believes. You went on to a trip with your ex and y'all share the room together. Come on, we all know what's going on.
We all know what was going on in there. Yeah. I think she's more mad that he told her the truth than anything else. But she already, like you said, I believe she already had her own plan. And she executed it. So what else do we have?
So you knew from the barbecue that you no longer wanted to pursue her?
Well, I just kind of moved it into a different bracket or a different category, if you will. I just thought it wasn't advantageous for me to take it seriously at all. If you're still having this emotional attachment to your ex.
I never had an emotional attachment.
That's what I
This man is weird.
So it sounds like there was like a lot of miscommunication.
We weren't even by each other though. He was playing dominoes with everybody. Like
no, this conversation
we weren't even
happened.
By each
Everybody
other.
went inside the house, and I don't know if she remembers because we were a little tip.
No, we weren't.
But we were outside. They were all inside the house, and me and her were outside near the barbecue when this particular aspect of the conversation happened. I remember it pretty vividly because I kind of made a mental note of it, like, oh, okay, all right. I mean, I was honest. I was thankful for her being honest, but I kind of compartmentalized what was going on at that particular time, and like, you know, just was more open to just see where it goes. But I'm like, you know.
I've never been.
So just to ask you, Briante, so obviously when he said the whole ex thing, like that's who he's going on vacation with, for you as well, like you didn't care enough to text him either, like, hey, you know, I don't think we're gonna continue this. Like,
No, there was no point. He's with his ex still, so his mind's somewhere else. It wasn't, I didn't feel the need to reach out or anything. It was like, okay, back up. Obviously, I did say on the show I choose the wrong guys, obviously. So it was okay. And I was fine with that. I was fine with moving forward. I didn't show him any type. I showed him who I was. We had a great time. I wasn't like flirting with my baby dad. It wasn't anything. He actually left early. So it was just like, you know, he wasn't even there for the rest of the time there. And we had a good time. So that's why I didn't show him any signs that I was anything. Because the fact that my my baby dad's in conversation right now, it really irks me. For a man that you've never showed no interest, no love in the last 7, almost 8 years of your life. And then now that
to fucking Mike. You know, listen, I'm just saying what bothers me a lot is that these ladies always feign ignorance. I mean, you have a relationship with this guy, whether you know it or not, right? Your baby's father and you're going to have a relationship as long as y'all share a kid together. That's just, you know, you can't get past that. I mean, and so stop trying to act like there's nothing there. I think that's the disingenuous part of it. Go ahead.
Our Payne, his DNA inside of him.
Say that?
Like, his DNA is inside of him. Like
forever.
whether she wants it, whether she wants forever, whether she wants to admit it or not, that man's DNA is inside of your body.
Forever. Hey, yeah, Red Planet, man. I just put the link in the chat. I mean, yeah, so I don't understand where you know, these ladies are coming from, and she act like she's so sincere about it. But I think that's part of the problem. All these women with kids, they act. It seems like it's nothing to them, and it should be nothing to the man. That's just not true. It's not, and they got to stop talking about it as if it's not true. That's where I think some of the miscommunications are. Like I said to you before, it's not only do I have to have a relationship with you and your package, I also have to have a relationship with this guy. You said that's no good, right? So I don't even know what I'm getting, right? So I mean, it's just, you know, and well, you know, more power to the dudes who want to do that, right? And more power to the guys. Well, I'm not even going to pass any judgment unless you just know that that's got to be a part of your vetting process. And a lot of guys don't take that into consideration. They just don't. They look at the chick. She's fine. I can get a little booty, and that's it. And so, so I don't know, man.
And what is the baby daddy doing at the cookout anyway? I've had plenty of cookouts. I never invited my baby. Why? Why is he there? What need is there to be there? Like, you know what I mean? You know why? Because he's still considered a part of the family. Yeah, they don't have a good relationship, but he's still considered a part of the family.
Exactly. So there you go. There you have it. I mean, the rest of it is kind of like this. They didn't match up. They didn't get over. But I mean, that's just the way it is. But I just thought this one was interesting because it didn't work out. And there's some real dynamics between the two of them that probably plays out like this a lot of times between men and women, you know, trying to get together.
Yeah, but this is another example, a prime example of a young man. What was he, 27? He was 27.
Yeah, yeah.
He's in his 20s. This is an example of a young man in his 20s who doesn't know what he's doing. Seriously, he has no idea what he's doing because there were other women that were there that were probably better suited. I honestly think the woman who popped her balloons because she didn't like the question.
Yeah.
No. The one that didn't like the question.
Oh,
So she popped
yeah.
the balloon because she didn't like the question. They probably might have had something because you could kind of tell. He let his eyes and his penis make a decision for him. And this is why you get what you get. He didn't hear her when she said she has a key. He didn't hear that part. It's hard to get over that problem when the slit is so high up her dress. You can't hear it. You can't hear that. There were so many red flags in this woman from the beginning. She should not be sitting in that seat. And this is what I mean when I say you have a lot of guys out here who just don't know what to do. They don't know how to choose women properly. And this is what you get behind it. You get this.
Yeah.
It's nonsense.
Yeah. So so it's Trey Ferg. Okay. Hey Trey, Ferg, you might as well just come on up, man. You keep up with this one. Yeah, he went on a trip.
But he doesn't need to convince her. See, that's the problem.
Right.
That's an entitlement argument. He doesn't need to convince her of anything. She's not his girl. She hasn't earned any position.
Right.
Required to convince her of anything. Honestly, what he could have done is omit the entire thing and just act like it didn't happen and go on about his life. But there's big issue with this, and a lot of this has to do with the fact that he was never in the driver's seat. He was never in a leadership position from the beginning, and she used him. She did what she wanted to do with this man.
What's going on? I see you, Mars. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up? What's up?
All right. How much? So we're at the end of this. How much did you see?
Man, these chicks be tripping out here, bro. They expect the world and everything in it.
Yeah. What else? What else?
But how is she the problem here? That's what I'm having a hard time understanding. How is she the issue?
Man, they find a way, man. Yeah, I mean, they ain't always the problem.
That's a bullshit reason. She's not the reason. She's not the problem here. He made a terrible choice. Of all the women that were standing up there, he made a horrible choice. He picked literally the worst woman on the panel. The worst one.
But they deceive, you know what I'm saying, when you are an agent of chaos, you know what I'm saying? It can be hard to read these chicks sometimes, man.
Yeah, it wasn't hard to read it.
You gotta read the defense, man. You gotta read it. You gotta interpret. You gotta be psychic. You gotta, guess, calculate, percolate.
What did she deceive him about?
Right.
She didn't lie about having a kid.
All right.
She was dressed inappropriately. Everybody can see it. What did she deceive him about?
I mean, we a little bit visual, you know what I'm saying? So that's going to get in our heads a little bit,
What did she deceive him about?
That's going to get in our heads a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
So the answer is she didn't deceive him at all. He made a terrible choice.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, he's right though, Mars. She didn't deceive him, and she also told him that she likes family gatherings. I mean, it's more than not. It's like a coincidence that she already put it out there. Hey, how do you like families, and how do you like getting around my family? She said it in a episode, and that's why I made the connection to this catch up, and that kind of goes to your setup. She wanted to hear his answer to that. So she expected him to say yes to that invitation. Yeah. So
at the end of the day, you can't look at the bottom of the barrel and expect for her to be something more. This woman is literally screaming to you. Look at her nails. Look at the nails she has.
Yeah.
Look at the earrings she's wearing. This woman is screaming to you. I am not prepared to be in this fight. She's screaming it. She's on the mountaintop, so please, somebody listen to me. Whatever you do, don't marry me. She's saying it. And he didn't see all of it. You know what he saw? He saw what I used to see when I was in my 20s. That little dress, them legs with the tattoos
Them
on it, and
legs.
he's thinking, you know what? That's easy work right there. That's easy work. I'm gonna be able to do this real quick. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
in, I'm gonna be out before you know it. I'm gonna be in Puerto Rico with my girl.
Yeah, and she
Well, let me
probably
ask. Can I ask the question?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
This for both of y'all and anybody in the chat. Do y'all think that someone can find a wife on these pop the balloon? Is it possible? Do you think that's a real possibility? Finding a real wife.
I do, but it's slim pickings. I do. Listen, I really do. When I first did a pop balloon reaction, the woman that I showed the very first thing here on Black Man Unfiltered, I think she was marriage material. She was beautiful and she was articulate, smart, and nobody played around with her. But it's few and far in between, just like in real life. I was surprised when he asked the question. He asked the question, how many of you have babies? This one is the only one who had a baby. The rest of the women, most of the time, a lot of the women are saying yes. On this one, she was the only one with a kid. She was the only one with a kid. So I was surprised about that. So it's just few and far between. And like what Trey was saying, out of all the candidates on that panel, he picked the one who's the most stylish. If you go to her Instagram, she got one that, she's dancing with the shower, with the wet t-shirt, the nipples showing, everything. I don't even know how it's still on Instagram.
Was she a stripper?
No, she's a singer.
She's a musician.
Yeah, she's a singer, but she likes, okay, here's another thing. She's got one of the songs is I Like the Way You F Me. That's one of the songs. That's one of the songs. I'm saying, oh my God, listen, man. So
listen, I don't have a problem with the music. I would much rather hear music about sex than hear music about violence and gangsters. I'm not really worried about it that much, but it doesn't help. It doesn't help when you look at the entire package. Though. Like when you look at the entire package, that song doesn't help her. Which is why I'm saying he didn't do a good enough job to pick. All you had to do was look at it. I would have told her straight, listen, yeah, you look good. Ain't no doubt about that. But I know where this goes. I know how this ends. And this doesn't end with me being in a good position. It ends with me leaning over, looking crazy, looking on a show. Like, no, you should have picked somebody else. Why did he? Because he popped the two balloons first.
Right.
You skipped over that part, but do you remember why he popped the two balloons? Was it because the chicks were too big? Were they too big?
No, you know what? I didn't even look at that because it wasn't going to be germane to that. So I didn't look at it. So I think mostly because he just had to pop two. He couldn't ask any questions. So he was definitely visual. He was looking visual.
But even Payne, even when you're visual, you have to have a game plan. He had no game plan. No. You can tell he just kind of winging it. Hey, I'm happy to be on the show. I'll get some clout for it. My Instagram will go up. Like there was no actual plan on what he was looking for, what type of woman he's looking for. He was just there because I never understood why. Because the two women he popped the balloons on, they had long dresses on.
Right.
They weren't showing anything.
Yeah. Like I said, man, I think you hit it right under there. He looked at her, she looked juicy. She looked good. And I'll tell you this. I don't know this to be true, but she probably smelled good too.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
She probably smelled good too.
I don't know about that,
RP. I know, but I'm having a feeling that she did, man. Even if it was just for the show. It was just for the show. But listen, he picked the wrong one. And I don't know how you go out on a date and you can't fix it up, but I think he put her in the recreational zone real fast. I think that's what he did. And I think that's one of the reasons why he just told her, hey, listen, I'm going to be smashing my ex. And, why should it really matter to you? We don't even know each other that well. I know you smashing somebody, right? So why are you getting all upset and mad?
But if she's recreational, why are you meeting her family? You don't ever go meet the family of the recreational. You don't meet their kids. You don't meet their families. You essentially don't exist. You just here to clap cheeks and that's it. That's all I'm here for. I'm not trying. I'm not sure. We're not friends. We're not buddies. You can't call me when you get a flat tire. Like I'm none of
Yeah.
those things. I'm here for one reason and one
Yeah, but
reason
you
only.
think
That's
he
to
was
clap
thinking that
cheeks.
deep? You really think he was thinking that deep? I
But
mean,
this is my point. That's the point I'm making. He doesn't know what he's doing. He has no idea what he's doing. He has no idea what he's doing. He's just and I get it. He's in his 20s. He's probably just trying to figure it out. But at the same time, some of this stuff is kind of common sense. And when you see a chick that looks like this, because I would have thought the same thing, like, oh yeah, she gonna be easy work, right? But the
Yeah.
moment she would start talking about family and all that, you gotta wait. Let's get something very clear right now. We ain't gonna never go down that path. This is what I'm looking for out of you. And if she would have asked, well, what makes you think that that's the type of girl I am? I would have been like, look at you. Look at you.
but
You're like a good time.
regardless of how cheap he's the fool. I guess that's what Trey's saying. That he's the fool.
This is all on him. This is all on him. This woman. I can understand if there was some deception. This woman was screaming, "I'm not what you want. I am a problem." That's all I saw. That's the first thing I said. I was like, "Yo, why didn't he pop the balloon of the woman with the short dress on?" That's the first thing I said. She just screams, "I am a problem," and that's where we are.
Yeah, well, you know what? The power of attraction is something, something that goes on. Well, we say it is a power of attraction. Here's it at work, and then when he got a chance to see a little bit more, he put her firmly in that zone, and I think she resists being in that zone because it's public. I think she's used to being in that zone, right? I mean, if she don't got no guy, she knows why her ex keeps hanging around. No man keeps hanging around just because we have a kid that we're sharing together. He still wants her. She knows that, right? And so anytime he can get access to her, he's trying to do that. And so I don't believe
baby daddy is clapping cheeks. She can say whatever she wants. Ain't no dude hanging around. Don't no dude love your family that much to come over onto the house. That dude still clapping cheeks.
Oh man, so hey, I mean, I think that's the deal. I really believe that. Yeah, her outfit. Oh man, you know what?
Because here's the thing, right? Like yes, men are visual, but there's two parts there, right? What a woman wears tells you what type of woman she is, right?
Right.
What she thinks of herself when she steps out the house, especially when you know you're going to be on a show that hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions, are going to see, right?
Okay.
How you present yourself, because ultimately, at the end of the day, you're gonna have to present the person that you marry. But then the other part of this is too is him as a man, the type of woman that you selected. What was she wearing? The woman that you selected. So you selected her as a woman dressed like that. It says something about you too as a man.
That's right.
Okay, that's the woman you're
Yeah.
attracted to. So you're attracted to the IG model, stripper look. Okay, that says something about you as a man that you're lacking. And this is what I'm saying. Yes, she's a problem. This was all on him. He did not pick well from there, and his questions weren't that good either, except for the he asked if they didn't like, why are you single? They didn't like that question.
Right.
I like his reasoning behind that question. I thought was pretty good.
And so there you have it, man. See, listen, man, I know, Trey, you got like a certain thought about the whole Pop Balloon show. I just think that just because there's so many variations of it, I think Arlette puts on the most professional one that she can, because there's some real raunchy ones. And man, she's like almost 800,000 views, something like that. She's getting not views, subscribers. So whatever she's doing is working for her. Almost every content creator out there, does a reaction to her shows. So
it's like a low budget. You remember Love Connection?
Yes. Yeah.
Was it Chuck Woolery in Love Connection? It's like Love Connection. Listen, here's the thing, because I know what Red Planet asked earlier. You know, do you think people can find? Listen, you can find anybody anywhere. You can get stuck in an elevator and find the the love of your life. I guess if that's the way the cards are designed.
Okay.
My problem with this process is it becomes quite superficial in the beginning. I don't think they should be given the balloons until after they get past the superficial part. Right,
Huh.
because obviously because that's how a lot of the times. I told you it turns into a roast session. That's how a
Yeah.
lot of the times it turns into a roast session because people are looking at a person up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay, well I don't like this about you. Well, you're bald or you're this, that, you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, I get it. Attraction does matter. I will never say it doesn't matter, but at the same time, there are things, especially for a man, he doesn't have to be the most attractive, right? Women is a little bit different. But for a man, he doesn't have to be the most attractive man. And so therefore they don't get a lot of opportunities sometimes to actually get to know what type of man he is because they've already popped the balloon the moment the moment he walks up.
Right.
Right. So I don't think the women should be allowed. They should be allowed to pop the balloon until they find out what he does for a living, if he has any kids, you know what I mean, some character questions. Then you give them their balloons. Right. I can understand it for the man because we are visual, but even still, you still might want to know some things about them. And honestly, it actually gives the person an opportunity to start to qualify. A lot of these times, these shows, they immediately go in with, I'm going to disqualify everybody for this reason. It actually gives them an opportunity to say, okay, well, yeah, you know what? She's a little bit thicker than what I would like, but that's nothing. We can get in the gym. I can fix her diet because her character, her morals, her values are better. This whole finished product thing, our Payne, we got to get past that. Nobody's going to be a finished product. Nobody
That's
is.
true. That's true.
Nobody is.
That's
So
true.
you're not going to get the person without some assembly required. You know what I mean? Like you're going to have to put just a slight bit of work in. That's why I wanted to know, why did you pop the two girls at the beginning? And I think it's because they were a little bit bigger than the other girls, but they may have actually been better choices.
Right. So you think he might have? I think he didn't want the big girls. He didn't want the big girls.
And listen, and I can understand. I get it. I'm not too fond of the big girls myself. However, in this type of situation, I would have liked to hear them out.
Yeah.
I would have actually liked to give them an opportunity to compete against the other girl because a lot of the times, just because she's a little heavier doesn't mean that she's worse.
Right.
You know, she might be worse physically, but from a character, moral, value standpoint, she might be way above the girl who's an 8 or a 9. And all I got to do is, and I would ask her straight up, Payne, I would say, listen, you're a little bit bigger than what I'm used to. Would you be willing to, get on my diet, get in the gym with me, get to work? That would be one of the questions I would ask. To let her know I'm not comfortable. I'm not willing to accept you at this weight.
And she turned into a hyena on that one. You don't think she might say
more? But it's a telling question because if she does get defensive, then you're not for me. That means that you're above correction. That means that you're above change, and you're not trying to get better. You don't want to get better. However, if she says, yeah, you know what, I've never really been happy with my weight. I would love to get in there with somebody who understands nutrition. I would love to get in there with somebody who understands how to work out. That tells me a lot about her. Okay, now she's willing to put in the work. That just pushed her up a little bit further. Yeah, I've been with women who had great physiques and were lazy, didn't want to go to the gym, didn't want to eat right. And I would tell them, you could be 30 pounds heavier in about 2 years. It's just a matter of time. And sure enough, they big girls now because you don't have it. As opposed to the girl who's a little bit bigger, and I can say, well, hey, let's put in the work because of her character and her morals. And there are such things as cute, chubby chicks. And I've seen some chubby chicks that were cute. We gotta put some work in. Again, nobody is a finished product here. And there is some assembly required with people, especially in today's day, because we all have been through some trauma. We all got some trauma. You know what I mean? We all got something. I'm not a finished product. Nobody is. So that's why you gotta ask these questions. So I was very curious as to why he didn't give those girls an opportunity.
I tell you, man. Listen, so Mars, do you watch the Balloon Show all the way through? You ever watched any of them?
I watched a few of them.
Yeah. All right. So so this one I just did the catch-up video, but I just wanted to focus on the two people who had the catch-up video. So, but there was a lot of red flags on the chick side, but the guys should have seen a lot of those going in.
Let me ask this though. Do you think that a lot of these young guys aren't getting a lot of experience with women? Like they aren't getting to see the red flags, we might could pick up on something, you know, just like that. But you know, maybe they don't see some of like, hey, this chick, she on some bull, you know.
Well, no, listen, the question really is, are you saying that you have to have a lot of girls to be able to see a red flag? I think it starts with what kind of woman you're looking for, right? And so when you start finding out, so I don't think you need 100 girlfriends to find out what you want, right? You just got to know, kind of have an idea of what you want. I think a lot of men look at women like a piece of meat. And so they automatically just don't give a shit about the red flags. If the woman shows some interest, they're already off and running, right? So you know, so the guys who are looking for wives, looking for, I mean, real relationships, I think it automatically puts you in a space where you might not catch everything, but I believe that, you know, if you're looking for something serious, a woman will disqualify herself based on how she answers or how she behaves. You just have to be willing to walk away. That's what guys don't want to do. And I don't think that's where the experience comes in. Guys just don't want to walk away from booty because of scarcity mindset. If I don't get this one, I don't know when the next one's coming along. And that's a bad place to be. It's just a bad place to be. It's for men, for sure. You know, it's amazing though how many women don't realize that men ain't getting boxed like that. Not the regular rank and file guy. They compare that guy to all the dudes who are banging a lot of chicks. There's like maybe what 10 to 20% of the guys who have really good experiences with a lot of women, but the 80% rule is in full effect. There's a lot of guys who are just happy that they get laid once in a blue moon. I believe that. I just believe that guys ain't really, you know, even in this day and age with all the promiscuous women, they still are trying to get to the upper echelons, and it depends on what class they're in. If they're the lower class, but if they're the upper class, they, you know,
that 20% that's like smashing all the chicks. That's really the only guys that's mostly visible to these women. If you look at like Kendra G and all that, they're talking about the same guy, the same 5 or 6 guys. He's got, you know, he has this, has a 6-pack, has that. You know what I'm saying? And whether they
17 baby daddies and they're still asking for A-level dude.
Yeah.
You know, but you know what? I mean, what's his name? Why can't I remember? My man from the past. He already exposed all of that. I can't.
Kevin Samuels?
Yes. I got a brain fart. Kevin Samuels exposed all of that. And he exposed it because his data was kind of impeccable because he talked to women from the whole spectrum. And when you start talking to 1,000 women, you can start to see the pattern. And that's the thing that pissed people off because he asked people the same question. Same questions. Now, he might have been pompous on certain areas, but you know, the data is the data. You know, so I don't know, man. So anyway,
but the thing I've always asked is what listen, there has to be a standard. Like, women just shouldn't accept anything. Right? Like
no, it has to be
anything as a man. I mean, you gotta give them something. Like what's okay, fine. If you're not gonna be 6 feet tall, okay, well what's an acceptable height? If you're not gonna make 6 figures, okay, what's an acceptable salary? Like no matter which way you do this, there will always be some sort of criteria for women.
Right.
And it's going to involve some sort of stability because that's a survival instinct for them. So you gotta get over the money. You're gonna need to make some money. There's no such thing as a free woman. They don't exist. There's no such thing as a free woman. They will. They're either gonna get you in the front door, or she gonna get you in the back door, but she gonna get you one way or other. There's no such thing as a free woman. So you got to make some money. You have to be able to protect, right, and provide. You got to be able to lead. So I get it. Okay, maybe he doesn't need to be 6'8". I got a homegirl who's 4'11", and her ex was 6'8". Okay, that's excessive. You don't need a guy who's 6'8", right? You know what I mean? But I can understand a woman who's 6'2" and wants or 6'1". I met a chick yesterday. She was 6'1". I can understand her wanting a guy who's 6'8". So I
Right.
mean, there's
Right.
always going to be some level of criteria that men have to meet for women, and we have to remind ourselves that they are hive mindset. They typically sort of feed off of each other. So if one says this, and the other one will go with it, right? Yeah, I kind of like that. There's always going to be some criteria. The question
Right.
is that do you want to change the criteria to something that is a low, or do you want to change the criteria altogether to make it be more about character, his morals, his family? But no matter what, there will always be men who
Yeah.
can fit the criteria and men
Right.
who can't fit the
Can't
criteria.
fit
Just
it.
plain and
Yeah.
simple.
That's true. That's true. I think I think that's where when we get guys who are in the red pill rage, they lose sight of that. And like almost any criteria is too much, and it's not true, because I think what they need to focus on is what their criteria is. And I think part of our problem is that men have been existing when we don't have no criteria at all. And I think in some ways that hasn't been good for our women at all, because we'd accept anything. That's why they don't care if they're too heavy. They don't care if they're this. They don't care if they're too reckless. There's no men out there. There's so many men who'll take them just the way they are. And it's almost, it's not unique in the Black community, but I think we have that in abundance.
Yeah, no,
So
I completely agree, Payne.
yeah,
We have done ourselves a disservice by not saying to women, you don't fit the criteria, and then encouraging them to be better. The same way they tell us, well, you don't make enough money, so go make more money. You know what I mean? Like, because they have no problem telling us that, hey, you don't make enough money, you need to go make more money, right?
yeah, you need
Or
to do something.
you're
Yeah,
not in shape. I had a homeboy of mine told me the other day he liked this chick, but he's a little overweight. So the girl was like, well, you're a little too heavy for me. Now he in the gym every morning. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, so I don't care which way you put this.
yeah,
Black women and women are going to have an expectation. There's always going to be a criteria. You as
right.
a man have to figure out, okay, do you want to meet that criteria? Or are you saying, screw it, I ain't going to do it? But you saying screw it comes with consequences. You may spend the rest of
Absolutely.
your life out a woman,
Right, right.
or at least the woman that you want.
Yeah, it's true. And it's funny though, when you really get it, that one woman telling them that, you extrapolate that. There's a whole bunch of women not telling me that. They just not talking. Right? They're thinking the same thing. Right? So it's really true. I mean, it is a two-sided coin. But the truth of the matter is, I think men shouldn't have any trouble with that. I mean, I got married, got a little heavy, but I think my being overweight, even though I'm less now, that cost me probably a promotion or two. Even though I got to high levels on my job, I think it cost me certain positions. I believe. I believe that wholeheartedly, but it's nobody else's fault.
Yeah, because as much as we try to act like it's not important, image is important. This is something
it's
that
important.
harped
It's
on.
important.
Yeah, he harped on it a lot. Image is important, whether you
That's
like
right.
it or not. It's just the way it works. And it's unfortunate sometimes because it can hinder you, right? But there are times where it can benefit you. It can
Absolutely.
benefit you depending on, you might just have the look. I actually was able to get into a plain clothes unit or street unit because I had a certain look. They were looking for
Right.
somebody who could play it basically an older crackhead, and they was like, you fit it perfectly. That's how I got in the unit. It's just sometimes your image, the way you look, it can help you, it can hurt you. But I will say this: young men need to make a decision on what's the criteria for what you're looking for. Because if you keep coming on Pop the Balloon shows and you don't have a plan of action, you're going to keep getting whatever your dick tells you that you want.
Right.
And that's always a mistake. It's always a mistake to follow that.
It's a funny thing also, though, and I think it's part of the damage that has been done to us. Because in general, most men have an inherent understanding that we have to earn our way through life. Right? You know what I'm saying? There's no safety net. I mean, most guys kind of get that, even if they whine and boo-hoo, whine and cry. So if that's true, then it shouldn't be so hard for you to say, man, I need to improve some things once in a while. And that's the thing that I think we're missing. And I think we're missing that for a whole host of reasons, which is a whole nother show, probably. So
yeah. And I know you got to go, RP, but the other part of that is too is that when you work that hard and you earn something, you actually take leverage into a relationship, and you need that as a man. You need
That's
leverage
right.
in a relationship. You have to have it. So if you don't have the leverage, you haven't worked hard, you get a situation where the woman wants to become the leader. She winds up calling the shots. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
So thank you, Lynn. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But you need to work hard to get yourself. That way, you have the leverage in the relationship. You need to have the leverage in the relationship. That way, you don't have to deal with baby mamas who are inviting their exes to the cookout and all that stuff. You don't have to deal with these types of women. These women would effectively. I know women are not gonna like this, but these women would effectively be beneath you. You would be too
Right.
good for them, right? And they would know better. Hey, I can't go talk to the man who's 6'2" and single with no kids and a good job. He's out of my range. You know what I mean? He's out of my. I can't go get him. But unfortunately,
Or if I
or
want to go
maybe
get him, I have to be humble. I have to have a
very
certain
humble,
amount of humility. Yeah, a certain amount of
super
humility.
humble, super
Right.
humble, super conservative, and super modest.
Right.
You got to be all in. You can't show up on a Pop the Balloon show with a slit halfway up your ass. That's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. But because baby daddy's still around and clapping cheeks, she probably got a bunch of dudes because she's an attractive woman. There's no doubt about
Right.
that.
No
There's a
doubt
bunch of
about
dudes
that.
in her DMs. She thinking, I'll get. Remember, women have an uber abundance mentality. They don't ever think they're gonna lose, right?
Right.
So you know what I mean? Like she thinks I'll be fine. I'll figure something out. And push come to shove, I can always go back to my baby daddy. That's how they think. I'm telling you,
Yes.
that's
Yes.
how they think. I can always go back to right. But she doesn't see it as this is the best I can do. Whereas I think he was thinking, I might have my fun. May have been the baddest chick he's ever got. Maybe not. I don't know. I would have to see what he dated.
It wasn't bad enough for me to cancel my trip with my ex.
There you go.
There you go. Was not bad enough for that. You know, matter of fact, wasn't bad enough. I can even tell you the truth, and I don't care. I want you to think about that while I'm in Puerto Rico. I'm banging it out, you know. So why don't you stew on that for a little while? I'll be back.
And he's not in a leadership position to call her out on her hypocrisy. So it's okay for your baby daddy to come around, but I can't go around. He's not in a leadership position to even call out her hypocrisy.
Well,
He can't
this is true.
because I'm telling you, he's seen ass. That's what he's saying.
That's all
He's seen legs. He's seen stripper heels. That's what he saw. He's like, yeah.
Poor bastard. You know, listen, man, I would like to take the high road, but I don't know if I would have been any better back then. You know, I hope I would be better, but I don't know.
You definitely get her number and her IG off camera for sure. For sure, you absolutely get her number. Her definitely at minimum, you get her IG off camera for sure. You know what I mean? But on that show, no. You know, we got to start choosing the women who are screaming conservative, who are screaming modest, who are screaming. You know, I'm not going to embarrass you. I'm not going to make you look bad, right? I'm going to be an asset to the family versus all the attention of the family needs to be on me. Right? Exactly. I'm not even if I get an opportunity to speak about you and maybe we went through some things, I'm not going to say something bad about you. I'm not going to try to embarrass you. I'm not going to try to humiliate you. Those are the women we start giving more attention to. And we don't do that. We give the attention to the women who are always clout chasing, looking for the next, the next big thing, the next opportunity to turn viral. We keep giving them all the attention and it's not working.
Anyway, so we're going for the last, round. So what you got, man? Final words, Mars, man. I see you popped up, man. Popped up that often.
Yeah, had to come through, show you some love, man. Cool. I say, it is an 80-20, maybe a 90-10, but I think, visually appealing women, this is going to appeal to guys. We can say we do want conservative women or want women that's more family oriented, but we always gonna look when something nice comes by way, scantily clad or in something tight. We always going move that neck and be like, Dad, look at that. So a lot of women see that reaction and like, hey, that's what I wanna. They say they say we say that we want one thing, but we looking at the other thing. But it's somewhere in the middle. The truth is somewhere in the middle.
No, it's true. I mean, but the point is that you still control. Listen, you can give the like over this to this chick. Likes are like that's all they want. Their attention is really almost as important to them as sex. They get a lot
Crack
of
cocaine
attention.
is the words you're looking for, our Payne. Likes are like crack cocaine.
That's crap. So anyway, anything else, Trey? Before I move on, I gotta leave the chat with one thing before I cut out. And
Nope, I
even
had
though
a
we
good
don't have
time.
no Mayhem Monday anymore, for some reason.
Yeah, well, there's a reason for that. So.
Oh well, there's a reason for that. Yeah, there's a reason for that. I wasn't around for that, but I know. All right. So, anything else? Anybody? Because I'm gonna leave. Listen, I gotta tell everybody this. I found this AI generator, man, and I can't put it down. I just can't put it down. So I'm gonna leave everybody before we get out of here with a song that was generated by AI specifically for Pop the Balloon. So on that, then I'm gonna go out of here. So anybody just stick around and listen up. And there's no copyright since I own the damn thing. So
in a crowded room, when the lights are dim, searching for a spark, gotta keep it within. With a heart so tender, like a secret we share, I won't let this feeling fade into thin air.
oh, granddaddy
Let the
music.
rhythm take
Man,
us high.
baby boomer music.
I'll keep reaching for the sky. Don't pop your balloon too soon. Let it rise, let it bloom. With every glance, I'm floating high. In this dance, won't say goodbye. Every little smile, every glance in your eyes, a harmony of hope under velvet sky. I'll take my time, let the moment build. With every heartbeat, my dreams are fulfilled. So let this flame burn bright. I'll dance with you through the night. Don't pop your balloon too soon. Let it rise, let it bloom. With every glance, I'm floating high. In this dance, won't say goodbye. So hold on tight, but I love you soon. And don't pop your balloon too soon.
And with that, everyone, thanks for coming up, Trey, and the chat for being here, and everybody showing up. It's been a nice, good show. I like the Pop the Balloon show. It's an easy one, so I didn't have to do my numbers and stuff like that. So with that, I'm saying good night to everybody. Later.
All right, guys, another one in the books. Another great episode on the Black Man Unfiltered Network. Listen, we're doing the thing over here. So, guys, do me a favor. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button. Also, if you want to donate to the channel, which helps the channel, hit your boy Cash App. It's scrolling right here, right there, at the bottom of the screen. And support the channel. But we're happy that you're here, and we look forward to seeing you on every episode. So hit the notification button so you know when we go live. Thank you again, guys, for watching. We out.